spiritual team and how I hear from ascended masters and everywhere else, what they're saying at the moment, there's this shift obviously within the whole planet, but there's a shift with many of us at this moment, and how people may see you. This is ex-relationships, because lots of people are moving out of relationships. I'm doing the same thing. You know, how people in your relationships, your lovers, your partners, your husbands, your wives, you know, friendship groups, how they're changing, how they may see you. And when you have conversations with them or when they're around you, just observe how you feel. Because it's really funny how somebody might see you as in a certain position, and how they communicate with you, it's almost as if in their eyes, maybe in their world, they might be, you know, obviously stuck with everything that's going on for them. But not only that, they may be that they're trying to put you back into that position of how they once saw you, and maybe they can't see or understand or want to allow you to move away. This would be friendships, partnerships, relationships, I'm just hearing. But be aware, just observe it. So a tip, when someone triggers you, you know, emotions that come up, and that's been happening for me a lot recently, and I've been responding in a different way. And by responding in a different way, it's like my guides, I'm asking my guides for assistance all the time. They're sort of stepping in. They're sort of saying, no, sorry, hold back. Don't respond. Don't bite too fast. Hold back a little bit. You know, when you feel like you're bubbling up, when you feel like there's that, you know, your temper, thank you. This is no good then, like, for a dyslexic person, seriously. When you start that, you feel like you're bubbling up, when you feel that, you know, it's striking home, there's a feeling within you, there's sort of some frustration or whatever it is, or tears or whatever it is that's going on for you, see that as a sign that it means that there's been a shift, and there's been a shift in you because of the individual of how they're treating you, the individual of how they may be still seeing you. Maybe they can't let go of what they still want you to be or what you represent for them in their past. But that is one of the things I'm bringing up this evening. It seems to be very important to mention that about how people, how people may make you feel. And it's almost as if them keeping you still, keeping you stuck, because it's for them, it's beneficial for them, but not for you. But instead of feeling cross about it, it's more about feel the feeling, feel into it. And in a way, I heard also, and they just reminded me, that afterwards when I walked away from, I was like, yeah, I've come really far. I'm a different type of person. And I'm happy with who I am. So it was really important that, you know, that happened to me. And, you know, and thank you. They just said, you need those little rewards. You need those little ticks as you go along in life. You need to come across those situations. You need to be aware of those situations so that you can reflect back and say, yeah, look how far I've come. Because many of you are changing now. Many of you do learn through fun as well, but you tend to not stop in your track to listen to it. With pain and through suffering, it's a way of your soul, your humanness, to stop in your track, to really feel into the moment, to understand what is happening for each and every one of you. With so much joy and fun, it's almost as if you do not understand and it bypasses you and you do not absorb it fully enough. Through your awakening, through your aligning, through the awareness of that, many of you will learn that if you take it in the moment of happiness, if when you are having fun and laughing, that you bottle it, that you're aware of that lesson. And through love is a way of receiving it too. But again, the humanness comes in with the human doubts of the mind. Yes, when you were programmed to step forward as a human being, we are not too sure if the human mind was really there and it served a purpose to some degree. We often have a conflict with the human mind in how you see things, how you program yourselves, how you allow yourself to feel in fear. Whereas when you reach the higher dimensions and you reach your highness within yourself, you will begin to see that lessons are learned through happiness and the high lifting of frequency. It will not only just be through sadness. The sadness is the human part of you. But many of you, if you learn and become aware of this, you can lift up higher frequency. It's more about knowing that there is more than what you see. Having the openness to understand that there is more to the world, to life, than what you see. To have that acceptance, to have that open heart, open mind, that you then start to see the world slightly different. And not to allow in the constraints of being told, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's more to be looking at how, instead of would you do that. It's more people will be tuned into the fact of, you could use the word telepathy, you could use the word of, with the, again, thinking of loved ones and the phone, and then they call you and this, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, they sort of said they get a bit bored of that, but they're just saying that you'll be able to do this more. The more that you're tuned in, okay, thank you. The more that you're tuned in to your individual self, the more that you know thyself, it becomes easier for you. They just said, we've written these words before in teachings, know thyself. And yet, many do not know what this means. So, knowing thyself, knowing who you are, what makes you tick, knowing that what makes you happy, you are the person responsible for your happiness. Nobody else. You are the person responsible for your happiness. And it's up to you to honor yourself. It's up to you to see what that you want in your life. There are too many constraints, as in, got it. Marriages, lifestyles, jobs, everything else that we put ourselves into these little boxes, and then we say we're stuck and we're trapped. Are you really stuck? Are you really trapped? This is what your mind is telling you, that you are stuck. You are not stuck. You have to look at it from a different perspective. And as you move into the fifth dimension and, and the awakening and you're ascending and all these fabulous words that you have, they are just words. You need to move into that. When you create these words, the words, the different professional jobs and your salary levels and how you see yourself, and you are, I am this, I am that. You separate yourself like clothes. You separate yourself. When you have this constraint, I am this person. This is what these type of people do. I am a doctor. I am this. I'm an accountant. I'm this. I'm this. I am a cleaner, depending on who or how you label yourself. So to sit there and to see what it is or how you see yourself, then with this label that you constrict yourself becomes this box, I am this. You then stop yourself from growing. It should not be about how you see yourself as in your label. It's about knowing that as we move forward, that awakening is about you knowing that I am Anne. I am whoever. I am, and then you move forward. It's about you, and it's about letting go of these constraints, and so that we can move with you to help you to move forward. But yes, having open mind, having the awareness that life starts to change, that you have to believe in the flexibility that of there are no walls. Many of you say manifestation, and many of you don't believe it, but yet you try. When you try, it happens. You have to begin to try. You have to begin to believe. The trouble is, many of you had this, you create a fictional character as such, many of you said Santa Claus and didn't believe. You missed the plot. It was about what was around the sense of Christmas. And we are not talking about baby Jesus in a crib. We're talking about that feeling of open heart. The boundaries are let down. Many of your kind, when you walk along the street, you see a homeless person at Christmas, yet you give them then something, food, money, whatever it is. But the rest of the year that you would then pull back. We are moving into a time where it shouldn't matter as in what job, who you are, how you see yourself. You separate yourself. When you say, I am, this is my name, this is my job, you separate yourself. Instead, know thyself. Know thyself to step forward, to assist, to help others. And then you really truly know who you really are because of what you receive back. Checking in with yourself, working towards that of not being told you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's also, I'm hearing that's also through medicine and the constraints of what we see if someone's diagnosed with something or there's an illness. Okay, thank you, I understand what they just said. Okay, so, you know, when we're given labels, I mean, even like myself given a label, you know, with my lung condition, not going to breathe, not going to live without oxygen in your room. I mean, that's rubbish. I do, and I get on very well, thank you very much. It's about the constraints of the mind. So becoming more fifth dimensional, waking up more to the fact of there's something more to life. It's like you break through those boundaries and those barriers. They won't constrict you. It sort of opens up more and enables you to move forward into the next part of your life. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, thank you. And also, you know, I keep saying this, but that, you know, sending out love to everyone, you know, that connection with whoever, you know, our relationships, old, whatever needs mending or fixing, that seems to be very important. Okay, thank you. They also said to me, sometimes we carry, okay, they keep saying fractures, time fractures, and that just means as in, okay, thank you, they brought me this. The Russian dolls again. Time fractures is really about where we get stuck in ourselves, our journey, where we've had something that's happened to us, an experience. We get stuck, it gets triggered, it becomes a fracture in time, it sort of stays there. Okay, thank you. So they said to, okay, thank you. There must be, I have seen it and I can't remember the name of it, but there is a Japanese or Chinese way where it's embedded with gold to fix it and to move on. And that's what happens with yourself. So it's sort of okay, thank you. By learning through that experience, by able to think, okay, this is teaching me something, not running away from it. Because for you to be able to move on, for you to be able to learn, for you to continue to experience your life, it's about allowing it to heal, almost as if either therapy or whatever it is, almost see that as a golden thread, that golden liquid, that golden glue that sort of sticks you together in those fractured periods of time to create who you are as an individual person. Yeah, okay. All right, let me have a look. And they also said, each and every one of you have your own superpowers. Each and every one of you having that belief. Okay, thank you. They just brought to mind Marvel magazines, you know, the famous, you know, I don't know, Invisible Man or whatever it is, or I don't know, all the characters that you get in the Marvelous magazines and whatever. They're just saying to me that they came from somewhere. If you go back in history, they're going back Greek times and the deities and everything else, that, you know, the person who created this are hearing stories that they turned it into an everyday modern movement, that you all have your own superpowers. Okay, thank you. And those who you connect to around you and what's going on, you can use those superpowers. Okay, thank you. They just said life is going to trigger things off in you. Life is going to bring up those life mysteries. Life is going to create those folds, like folding paper they just showed me. You're going to have that, and sometimes you're going to have that where your life is put on hold and there's a pause button for a short time, because you need that time, that pause button, so that you can reset yourself, so then you can reflect and then you can move forward. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you serve a purpose to them. If you stay that person who they think that you are, that who you used to be, you're serving a purpose to them. It's like some people don't want to move out of into something new. So some people are quite fearful and they need to stay in a certain place, in a certain role, in a certain position. And by having that, by them keeping you float in that space, it helps them to say, my world's still okay, I'm in a good place, you know, nothing's going to change, I'm okay. Because for some people it's unsettling to change, whereas others, and that's very much at the moment you're going to get with the planets the way they are, you're going to get some people who don't want to change, who are fixed, some people who haven't got a clue what's going on, and that's absolutely fine. If that's their life and that's their bliss, it's absolutely wonderful, and I'm okay with that. That's their soul journey at this particular time, and that's fine, and I'm not judging you. But there's others that you do the work and then you turn around and you bump into them, like they treat you the same as they thought you were from before, but you've changed. So it's really about shifting those people. Well, shifting, yeah, okay, they just said shifting, sorry, it's really rude, because they're not serving a purpose. You have got this one life as you, as a particular person in this one life of how you're living your life. You were brought into the planet at this particular time with all the planets the way they are, all the timelines and everything for you to work on this part of you. Life is just too short. When you look back and you think, my God, when you think back to when you were a kid at school, when you were younger, whatever, or some of the memories that you hold, if you think of how many years they go back, you know, most of them don't hold any relevance to your life right now. I mean, in a way, they got you where you are here, but so we can just let go. And so those people that are not serving you, it's about letting go. And also just heard as well, for some people, when there is that change in us as individuals, sometimes we get this sense of a bit of fear, and then sometimes we can end up going back into a relationship thinking, oh, okay, I'm on the verge, I'm on the edge, I'm fearful of what my future is going to be because I can't see it right now. So it's like, oh, I stay. And then there's some of us that just say, no, let's not overthink the fearful future. Let's stay present. Let's vibrate our high sort of, energy levels, or just let's be in our bliss, our own bliss, and finding our own happy place. And then the future will sort itself out. The future sorts itself out from where you are right now. So what you're sending out, how you as an individual person, you are creating your future. But when you're too fearful and you try to rush into the future with fear, you're sabotaging it from the old negative thoughts that's making you fearful. So it's about stop, pause, surrender what doesn't serve you, and pause. And as you said, that being within the group and information brought up, well, this is me working with my team. This is not just me doing this on my own. I can't take the round of applause for it. I'm working with a team that knows what's going on energetically around the world and for individuals, and I'm just working ebb and flow. They give me information of backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. We've been talking a lot about energy today. Our bubble of energy around us now, energy fields. If we're feeling down, we're most likely going to come across and attract people who are feeling down too. And then when that happens, it reinforces it. And even if we're in an angry mood or frustrated or whatever we're sending out, we're going to attract it back. So, to raise your own energy fields is something that's going to make you either laugh, they raise the energy through watching, they just gave me, okay, I was going to say something else. Harold Lloyd used to be my thing when I was a kid. Black and white Harold Lloyd, or Lauren Hardy, anything that's funny, whatever resonates for you. And it changes as you grow, as you change. Things might be things that might stimulate you. So also like on YouTube or Instagram, you might come across animals doing really funny things that makes you laugh. It's about laughter. So and the place when you're in that darkest moment, the last thing you want to do is feel like you want to laugh, to be honest. So the idea is to get those visuals, get the visuals up, hear the sounds. And we've got a train station, but a train track nearby. And if I hear the trains going toot toot, it reminds me all the kids waiting on the bridge, waving like this, and adults. And I do that, me and Rebecca, we stand there sometimes waving to the drivers. And it's contagious. Then the drivers wave back at you. Then they're having a good day. So it's about that. You want to raise your energy, and very much about going out for walks if you can. If you have the sunlight coming through the window and that's your thing, sit in that sunlight, be like that lizard, that gecko picking up on that sun. Music is the top tip. Top tip is got to be music. Create a playlist when you're in a happy frame of mind. Go to that playlist when you need to have it. I'm always forever walking around the house with my earpods in, or singing badly and I get told off, so I have to have my earpods in. Rebecca's going to comment now.
Mum doesn't put her headphones on, she'll play her music for me to hear when I don't like it. But I'm glad she's happy.
Well, that's how I wake up in the morning. I have my playlist on and I listen to it, and it lifts my energy stream up. So however I'm feeling, whatever time of day, I'll listen to that, and that will really lift me, and I'll sing and I'll hum, and that lifts my energy. So if you're feeling really crappy, which, you know, a lot of us do, and we have our moments, and that's quite normal, then playlist of happy tunes, that really helps. But when you're in that downward spiral, that effect of, I always call it the Alice in Wonderland sort of effect, when you're going down that rabbit in that dark hole, that's not the best time to be creating your playlist. So the idea is, when you're in a happy mood, create your playlist, have that ready to hand, so when you're feeling down, you start listening to it. And it's funny because we know words carry energy, and we know music carries energy, and so lots of people who come out of relationships and love relationships, there's so many songs on the market of feeling down, doom and gloom, and if you listen to it, it's just actually enhancing that down and gloom. You just really want to focus on lifting yourself up. Yeah, you might need a little bit of an episode of, you know, connecting with it in the sense of, yeah, wallow in it, like the hippo wallowing in that sadness, but get yourself out there as much as you can and lift yourself up. So the things that you listen to, the music, is very, very important. The words in the song, you might end up singing the song, not realizing you even know the words. Then when you look back at the words, they're very destructive, some of the words. You know, I've had a lot of clients saying to me, they were listening to some tunes, they liked the tune, but then when they listened to the words and they were repeating the words, singing it, they then looked at them and they were quite negative words. So your body's hearing and listening and absorbing all the time. So that's a great way. Music, going for a walk, being with nature if you can. Oh, and another one. If you've got, I've got my lovely holiday videos of India, which I absolutely love. So I will play them on my phone. I'll look back at old holiday videos or things that happen. Or when the kids were little and they used to giggle, sometimes I'll go back to them giggling and I'll hear them laughing. That'll pick me up straight away. Or my dog that I used to have, you know, I'll watch a clip of her, and sadly she's not here, so I'll listen to that. So whatever you have, but it's about doing the exercise, the energy exercises, and doing the workshops. You'll start to understand your energy, and you'll start to understand quickly how you're going down, if you're feeling down in yourself, or if someone's affecting you, your emotional energy fields. So that's the best thing about doing stuff like that. Do you know what I just heard for you? And I feel this is for many who aren't connected to their family for many reasons, either working away or whatever the situation. Oh, okay, thank you. I've said this before about there are many parts to ourselves, there's many sides to ourselves and many parts of our personalities. And so if you think of how we might be, say for instance, you know, say for me, with, for instance, how I might act with my mother and I'm her daughter and how she treats me, and how I might act with my daughter and our relationship, and my son, then my best friends, and then how I might be with my clients, how I might be with my students, how I might be with, you know, my ex-partner. There's all this going on, and what I'm hearing is that it's addressing part of you. It feels like it's bringing up a lot people who aren't with their loved ones for many different reasons. I feel it's addressing the other part of their soul, other part of their journey of them. So actually what I'm hearing is that there will be those vulnerable moments when you're away from your loved ones, that there's, you know, connections that you're not physically close to them, but it's addressing what needs to be addressed in you at that particular time. Yeah. So it feels that pulling you away and being where you are right now, it's actually, I hate using this word, but they say sort of forcing you to address things that's going on internally with you. It's like that shadow work of what else there is that you need to sort of work on, to let go of, so that you can continue to move away. So the timing of your journey, the timing of all this going on, the timing of where you are, where your family may be separate from you, it seems to be this timing makes sense for it to be releasing stuff internally with you, and to address part of your personality, or part of, and this is for others as well, of either the loneliness What is it bringing up? What is it stirring up? You know, that hornet's nest I was mentioning. What is it bringing up? What's it addressing for you right now? And I'm just hearing, it's perfect in a sense because of where you are, is that you have to face it. It's almost as if they're, you know, when you're away or whatever situation you're forced into, or you're into that situation, that you have to address. It's like that mirror. You'll see the mirrors around you, meeting certain people that will come up, you know, certain things that people will say to you. It's about addressing where you are right now. So actually, it's bringing up to the surface of what needs addressing and how you see yourself and how important it is what your family means to you, and also what your family means to you, and also it looks like it goes back through other things going on in your family, going back. So there's some other work that needs to look at. But when you're on your own and you're not with loved ones or family members for whatever reason, to help find that balance, it's allowing whatever comes up, whatever's stirred up. And if it is, journaling is your thing for you, whatever comes up and is presented to you, to write down your thoughts and feelings, excellent. But also to ground yourself, because they're saying really grounding, really taking yourself out of your environment and being able to go outside in nature. That's so important. And it's the walks, it's connecting to the trees, it's seeing the trees, it's seeing nature, and sensing nature around you. It seems to be very important. That will help those who are going for a difficult time or an unsettlement. I'm hearing it more of an unsettled time, if that makes sense.